Good morning, fellow Clashaholics. It's your old friend Crunchy Frog here, and today we're saying hello to this guy, the Super Yeti. Look at those cool gloves he has on. He's just a cool dude, the Super Yeti. So anyway, we're gonna go in with the Super Yeti here, and we're gonna do some attacking. This guy's a Town Hall 13, so we'll leave him alone. As with also the Town Hall 15. Let's get another Town Hall 14. Here we go. This guy's got some loot and he's a Town Hall 14. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack from the Eagle Artillery side, which is always a good strategy. Now keep in mind, I'm just starting to play him just like everybody else. And I'm just going by instinct here and what the Yeti is capable of. So I'm figuring the Super Yeti is even better, right? So we're going to do a little quick funneling over here. Maybe release one Super Yeti on this side to help with that. And then we're going to plunk down a whole bunch of these guys right in the middle to go down the row with a wall breaker or a log launcher to break the walls. And we're just going to see what happens here. Look at him go. What a beast he is. And we got a whole bunch of freeze spells, so that's what we need to do. We need to keep the Super Yeti as healthy as possible. That's why I packed a whole bunch of freeze spells. We'll freeze things up a little bit here and there. It's always a good policy. Use the freeze spell. Keeps the Super Yetis safe. Keeps my troops safe. Here they go for the Town Hall. And this should get down very quickly. Because the Super Yetis are pretty rough and tumble. And now they're getting poisoned. Come on, guys. Let's move out of that terrible area. Let's go ahead and freeze up some of this stuff. We're down to our last Super Yeti. Wow. Okay. I didn't use all my freeze spells, so maybe that was a problem. Okay, well. Is that a clan castle cake? You can see the rewards on this event. It's kind of a little mini event. If you want to get any of the really good rewards, you're going to have to pay for the pass. And I think some sceneries are available if you buy the pass. But they aren't the kind of sceneries that I would pay money for, you know? They're not great. Let's see, is there anything else I'd like to do with these guys? Not really. Let's go do it again. Not very much elixir there. Town Hall 15, Town Hall 14, with no elixir. We're just looking for some good stuff here. Okay, this guy's got some decent elixir, and it has the benefit of having an Eagle Artillery that's being upgraded. So that's always nice. So that means we can attack from the Town Hall side. My Archer Queen is currently being upgraded, so that's a little bit of an issue. But we'll put up with it. Let's get the king a little bit closer to those walls before we activate his ability and crack open the walls. There we go. We'll put a Super Yeti over here and one over here. And then we'll charge some down the middle. And we'll put the Warden with them. And we'll send in the Royal Champion. Let's go ahead and freeze that Town Hall up. We also need to freeze this Inferno Tower too. Let's go ahead and do both of those. Send in the healer, 2 archers. Basically just a filler. The other Inferno towers are multi-Inferno, so they don't present as much danger. The one thing I've noticed about these Super Yetis is they're pretty slow. Let's freeze up that scatter shot. Because the fewer shots that scatter shot gets on my Yetis, the better. Let's go ahead and freeze up the scatter shot and the mortar on this one. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I need to pack some more wall breaking stuff, because the Super Yetis, that seems to be their big weakness. They don't like dealing with walls. They're just sort of going around the edge here. All we can do is just try to keep them alive as long as possible. I mean, we have the 2 stars. Getting 2 stars with these guys is no problem. Even to somebody who's just using them for the first time, like I am. Okay. Maybe they can break through this wall fairly quickly if there's a whole bunch of them. Yeah, they do. But it's going to be a time issue, too. Even if they all stay alive. Look how slow they move. Yeah, I'm thinking Super Yetis are kind of cool, but they're not really as super as their name might imply. I think I'd call them mediocre Yetis. Okay, but anyway, let's go and see. No upgrades there. Okay, well, let's go and see how they do at a slightly lower level. You know, I've go to my monkey farmer base. I already checked in with my little Town Hall 8 bases, and they don't even let you use the Super Yeti. I'm not sure what level you have to be to use them, but it's not Town Hall 8, which is sort of sad, because I wanted to see how they did it at really low level bases. You know, I wanted to see how they crushed them. Okay, we'll unlock the Super Yeti. Super Yeti activated. Let's go make an army using the Super Yetis. I guess we'll go ahead and replace the stuff in this army, because this still has those WWE troops. And those are no more, so let's go ahead and just use mass Super Yetis. That's 8 of them. 8 of them fills up the entire army, so I'm just wondering if I should, maybe instead of freeze spells, I should be packing some earthquake and some jump. And let's see, what else would be good? We'll throw in some bats just to be funny. And, okay, all these other things are set. Okay, let's try this out. See if we can't find a Town Hall 12 base and see how these Super Yetis work at this Town Hall level. That's a 13. Another 13. Here we go. This guy's got pretty decent loot, and he's got a functioning Eagle artillery, so it should be a good test. And I think we'll attack from this side over here because of that. So what we'll do is maybe break open a bunch of compartments in there with the earthquake. And we'll start the queen up here. And we'll file down here with this guy. Maybe I should have brought the king. I don't know. We'll see. And then we'll break up the Super Yetis in the middle there. And we'll pop open a wall. We'll put a wall jumper spell right there. And see how these guys move through here. We'll go ahead and protect them right there from that Eagle artillery shot. Now the Eagle artillery is gone. And that's nice. They move right through the center of the base. Let's go ahead and put some wall jumps over here so they can move easily to the next compartment. And they're going to be... they'll have access to this Inferno Tower compartment, which is going to cause some issues. But how quickly can the Super Yeti take it out? He does a good job. He takes the single target Inferno out before it can take him out. Very good. Yeah, it seems like the scatter shots at Town Hall 14 are a big problem for the Super Yeti. Also, I wasn't using spells to open the walls, and it seems like that's a really good idea. If you're using Super Yetis, that is their big weakness, is the fact that they take so long to get through walls. So if you can do stuff to help them over and around and through the walls, then that's a good thing. You see, here they are, hung up on the walls. They're super, but man, those walls are hard to break. Okay, we got it. Very good. Very good. Let's go ahead and run another one of those, because that's what I'm going to be featuring today on my Clash of Clans video of the day, because it's something new and something different, and we want to see what strategy works the best. And I'm thinking that making it so that the Yetis can get up and over and around the walls quickly is going to be better than freezing up a bunch of stuff. Because the Super Yetis are pretty tough, but if they have to get stalled on the walls, then they can get cooked by any defenses on the other side of the walls. So that's what we've learned so far. Make sure to just get them up and around those walls. Pack plenty of jump spells or earthquake spells. It probably wouldn't hurt to just go pretty much, all earthquake spells, where you can just crack open entire areas of the base for them, and then they can penetrate the outer core with the wall wrecker or the log launcher. Okay, this is always very exciting when you have a video full of this. Think of it as a Clash of Clans real estate channel, where I'm showing you all the properties. Okay, well, this guy's going to have to do. Not the greatest gold or anything, but he'll have to do, because we don't have all day. And we'll be attacking, I think, from this side over here, because that's closest to the Eagle artillery. Yeah, my queen should probably be using her action figure puppet as her equipment. That's what I'm thinking. What the heck? I don't have an army. Why don't I have an army? What is going on here? What happened to all my Super Yetis? That's really bizarre. Why would... Is this a glitch? Why would the army get erased like that? Oh, well, we'll take this opportunity to replace the arrow with the equipment. Boy, that's really strange. Let's go to army recipes. And Let's go and save this. Maybe it needs to be saved. And we'll put the king in. Yeah, look at that. It's empty again. And where's the Super Yeti? Okay, something really weird is going on. I wish I knew what was happening here. Supercell, we have a problem here. Okay, here's a Super Yeti available. Okay. Now I'm going to save this army. Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to save it here. And we're going to use it, and it's empty again. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bug. We have a major glitch going on here. So, we're going to save this. And once again, it's empty. Okay, well, let's just pop all these in here without saving it. And let's just attack. Do you have to do this every time you take this Super Yeti out? It wasn't doing this on my Town Hall 14. But it's doing this on my Town Hall 12. What does this mean? You can't save the Super Yeti in an army. This is very strange. But we're going to do one more attack, and then we're going to test it out again and see what's happening here. I'd say, hey, Supercell, if you're watching, but I know they're not. Now, if I was Judo Sloth, or Itsu, or Eric Onehive, then they might be watching. But I am still a humble little beginning creator. I don't have a creator code of any kind. And when I do, you better believe it's going to be, use my creator code, Frog or Crunchy. Okay, let's just go in on this base here. We'll use the action figure equipment. For some reason, it didn't save me putting the king in. So we're just going to have to deal with that. I really wanted to put the king in, but whatever. And let's just spam in those Yetis. Let's break open some of these initial walls here so that they all channel in. And get the warden with them. Let's protect them from that blast from the Eagle Artillery. Here's another weakness of the Super Yeti is they have no response to that minion prince who's blasting at them. So that's not good. My Archer Queen, and she's over here. Now she's going to target the minion prince. Come on, Archer Queen, do it. What's she targeting? She wasn't targeting the minion prince. It almost looked like she was firing at the warden. But we know that can't be possible, right? That minion prince is just going to town on my Super Yetis. Look at that. That is not a good thing. Huh. Okay, well. Let's send the bats in to get totally annihilated by that wizard tower. Hopefully he'll target the queen. Okay, well, there's some things that you have to take into consideration with this Super Yeti, and it's also... Another thing you have to take into consideration is that it's glitched. Now, this is very unusual, because Supercell is not in the habit of releasing troops that are buggy or glitched. Not sure if they did a lot of game testing or what's going on. But whatever's happening, it's not normal. Okay, well, we know that the queen's not going to be able to finish off the rest of the space in 28 seconds. So let's not waste anybody else's time. And let's exit out of there. And let's immediately go back in and see if the Super Yeti is still in the army. Or if they erase him. Look, he's erased. He's no longer in the lineup. I am calling bug. The Super Yeti event is bugged. So you might do better just using your regular army, your regular troops. But unfortunately, I think you get better rewards and more ice cubes or whatever if the Super Yeti is somewhere in your army. So this is going to be a problem. And on that note, I hope you guys are having fun, and I'm glad to be your little test monkey, your little experimental gerbil, running through the maze of Supercell bugs. So, until next time, this is Crunchy Frog signing out.